First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Think of all the people during Woodstock that thought they were going to make a ton of money. They made meatballs, they made sandwiches, and lined up here on River Road here in Marcy for the traffic to come in. And it did, and it was doing about 45 miles an hour and just kept going.
Meatballs to go.
By.
Never stopped.
See, that was a problem. They didn't have any problems, so they had to create one.
That was the problem. You're right. It was like, well, what's the problem? Well, the problem is there wasn't a problem. Yeah. There was no traffic jam. People just came right through.
You mentioned this last week about the setting up, vendors setting up. Now, I remember it, but I don't remember it. What was there before the Utica-Rome Expressway? Where were they setting up when you say along the highway?
It's River Road. It's right in front of the radio station.
Really?
That's where the traffic came through here. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, they were
building that.
And then they would get on to 49. So they didn't have the expressway.
Yeah.
But as long as we're talking about the vendors, those were the vendors that were outside. But there were also vendors inside as well. So let me do the free money question. I have none other than Wayne ready to take a shot here this morning. Wayne, good morning.
How are you guys?
How you doing, man?
Wayne.
Good.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Wayne. I think I have a song for you, Wayne, somewhere. I got to find it.
Wayne.
Put it on. Roll it.
Wayne. All right. We're weaning a bit here in the early hours of a Monday morning. Okay, here we go, Wayne. Here is your question. You'll have 7 seconds to answer. You know how it goes. It comes via the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, at 315-724-1600. And there's much to win even when you lose here. Do we have the consolation thing still going this week?
Yes, we have actually family passes to the View in Old Forge, the museum and great center down there. And they've got a lot of things going on. Wayne was trying to get Saratoga tickets, but that was last week.
So
Wayne was messaging me for
trying
Saratoga.
to lose, so you didn't get the money, and you got the Saratoga tickets. All right,
There was a strategy there, though, right?
I feel there was.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And by the way, Cookies Q and Creamery is also the consolation. But let's not go there. Let's try to win the $100, okay? From Hobica, here is your question. 7 seconds to answer. Vendors at Woodstock paid how much for a single booth inside? Ready? Go.
$350.
$350, and you could have a booth at Woodstock. That was just one of those questions where you just throw out a random number.
Yeah.
How much was it? Thousands?
You'd say what?
I'm going to multiply by 10. I'm going to say between 2,500 and 3,500.
Okay.
Wow.
Andrew.
$1, Bob.
$1. And you probably know the answer to this.
Oh, absolutely not.
All right. Take a guess then.
36.5.
You guys are all way off.
It's gotta be like 500
Wayne
probably.
is the closest. It's
Really?
$500
For 4 days?
for 4 days of peace, love, and mayhem.
What? Well,
How many bottles of water is that?
Well, now, if you only charge $500 for the booth, you should be giving stuff away.
Well, I don't think the water. I think the water was mandated. I think the water was a festival sale, not a vendor sale. Like I know that Tony's in Washington Mills had a booth there, and he made a ton of food, and I think they did really well until his truck was destroyed on Sunday night.
But that's why
How many of them ran out? I mean, how many of these vendors ran out of stuff?
I think they all had food. I mean, by Sunday things were kind of closing down and stuff, and you saw a lot of that. But there was a lot of, and you're going to charge for it. But I don't think they gouged. That whole gouging thing bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't think they really gouged. Water was expensive. There's no doubt about it. But all right, Wayne.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to give you from Cookies Q and Creamery, the home of the half-gallon ice cream, Sunday, the Boss Burger Combo. 2 quarter-pound burgers, cheddar cheese, crispy onions, dill pickles, and the special sauce delicious at Cookie's Q and Creamery. Also from Old Forge.
Yeah, this is a family membership for View, the Center for Arts and Culture. This past weekend, they did a big antique show. Coming up early next week, I know they've got a big display on watercolors. They do concerts. They've got all kinds of stuff. It's a great center, and you should check it out. The View in Old Forge.
And Wayne is the only contestant of this contest that I have ever seen who called in to lose so we could win the consolation.
Hey, great job. He succeeded
awesome.
and
You-
failed.
That's right. You are a victor in this situation. All right, Wayne. Thanks, man. You have a great day. Hold on. Angela's going to make sure we're sending this to the right place here. So, wow. Okay, $500 for a
For
vendor.
4 days? If you break that down.
You had the Thursday. You had the pre-show, and that's when I think Ridley Page was on the West stage. But they had some good acts even in there on Thursday. Then they came. Then you had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of
Man.
I know
an exclusive 400,000 people.
Thursday was a pre-show, so I know it's not a full day. But if you break it down by 4 days, that's $125 a day. And I saw estimates the 4-day festival attendance being somewhere over 400,000. I mean, for $125 per day as a vendor, you had the opportunity to cater to, feed, sell product to 100,000 people a day.
By today's standards,
It's incredible.
including inflation. This is prior Biden inflation, by the way. Including inflation, if you figure in inflation, is what I'm trying to say. That $500 would have cost you $780 today. So can you imagine? You get a booth and it's $780.
Well, wait. Now, here's the thing.
But a lot of those deals are you got to sell our soda, you got to sell our beer, you got to sell our water, and here are the prices.
Well, you pay the $500. I'm bringing six crew members.
Right.
For $500, I now have 7 people. Me and 6 people just got in for $500.
That's a great,
Way
another
cheaper
great
than
point.
paying for a ticket.
Well, you know, the best ticket in was the one where you got the yellow T-shirt and you were part of the Peace Patrol.
Yeah.
That was the best ticket in. So they get in, and what did they do? They took the shirt off and pulled out a blanket and sat there and watched like everybody
I
else.
would say, great job, Peace Patrol.
Yeah.
Really did a good job with that one.
That's the other part of this that the Woodstock, the promoters screwed up, is not having a better security plan.
Yeah. But you know, the thing about this documentary that was interesting is that putting it in the time and space of that period. To me, the most outstanding thing was, and what if you got separated from your friends? How did you find each other?
That, to me, you're bringing up all
wow.
good
You know,
points today.
I said, wow. That is
They
true.
all were standing at the big cluster of phone booths, of payphones.
Yeah, and the payphones.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. At the cinema, people were bringing in artifacts and stuff when we did the viewing last week. And a person put a poster on the wall, and they said, this is from an original sign. And on the sign, they had phone cards. There was a guy selling phone
Right.
cards.
You could get those
I said,
Sprint phone
"Holy
cards and
cow."
stuff. Yeah.
That was, and the lines of people at a payphone with phone cards in their hands.
Trying to call, and they lost. So if you lost, they actually had a section where if you lost someone, yeah, because think about this for a second. You've got a city, it was the second largest city in New York State for that weekend.
Yeah.
A city of 400,000 people, all cramped into one area.
And you get split up with your party.
Yeah, you get split up. How are you going to find that person?
Yeah, right.
I'm going to use my,
yeah.
oh, we don't have cell phones yet. Oh, my goodness.
My wife and I had a plan. If we got split up, we were going to meet at the trash can drummers. And that would be the one spot where you know that you could.
And you'd hate
Yeah.
the person if they didn't show up for a real long time.
Oh
You'd
my
be
God!
Next to the trash can
it would
drummers.
drive you nuts. They went 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Oh,
They had to be on something to make them drum
yeah.
that beat.
Well,
or the lack thereof. I mean, it was
It
barely
was the
a beat.
hypnotism of the rhythms taking over their souls,
Yeah, I guess.
depriving them of the need of sleep.
But don't you think they tried to? They grabbed a theme. Here's why this bad thing happened, and that's what they ran with. The people they were using in the documentary as their experts bothered me. Because it was all, of course, what do you expect with a white, angry male? I mean, come on. Really?
Well, they tried to make a bigger social statement about it than just the concert itself.
Yeah.
And some things were hits, some things were misses, but it made me start thinking about everything, a little bit different. Doesn't mean that I'm agreeing with what the person said. But there are a lot of aspects I never thought about.
I do agree with the part where you had a different experience if you could go home.
Yeah. And if you were one of those people like I had the pass, I could go back behind the stage and meet all the celebrities and hang out.
Take a time out from the chaos. Really.
And we didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
I guess they probably did at certain levels of the radio station. But they worked more. I think the promoters worked more with Syracuse and even Rochester. Like Brother Weeze in Rochester was introing people on the stage. But it might have been because he was born at Woodstock. I don't know. The original one.
It's interesting how I got my pass because we were closed. We didn't have news or anything. But I said, well, I'm just going to call and come on, we're in Rome.
Yeah.
So I called.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.